Flutter your finger over the reload button when using the Cookout shotgun and you can continuously reload this thing as you can see here. Grab the ultimatum and use the raised weapon emote and you will shoot exactly 40 meters in the direction you are facing. If you dive forwards with the ultimatum, you will shoot exactly 80 meters in front of where you are facing. Really powerful if you're trying to take out those pesky stratagem jammers. Let's test it. Yo! Crack a Bile Titan's armor with 110 or a heavy weapon and shoot the shoulder area and you will be able to take down a Bile Titan with the Plasma Punisher shotgun. Do not sleep on melee weapons. Seriously. Slap on some heavy medic armor or peak physique armor, grab the shield and grab the lance and go and absolutely destroy Terminids. Look at this. This is beautiful. They can't do anything.
Close your eyes.
I've got him. I've got the one on the left. I've got the one on the left. I've got the one on the left. This video contains a variety of tips, tricks, and general use points and combos for a variety of primary weapons which I personally enjoy using. There's a particularly useful one coming up from Crazy Mr. Pips on how to use the torture more effectively. Lock in for that one, folks. And if you're enjoying the video, please do be sure to like the video and sub to the channel to keep informed. Now, let's get into it. The torture is an absolute beast against bugs, but I feel it's quite slept on, and that's because there are a lot more mechanics that the player has to deal with in order to manage this weapon and get the most out of it. You need to prevent yourself from being burnt whilst also knowing exactly what circumstances it is better to use this weapon, or perhaps switch off to a more effective support choice to deal with what's in front of you. People often disregard the torture against bugs as well due to shriekers, but there's actually an absolutely cracked technique which Crazy Mr. Pips kindly recently showed me, and he will be demonstrating this for us later in the video. Shout out to Pips. Some of the most obvious mistakes that make and break this weapon are quite simple ones, if I'm honest, but I see it happen all the time. Don't move forwards and shoot. You're essentially just inviting yourself to be barbecued by your newly ignited adversary, and don't dive backwards while flaming. You'll just set yourself on fire, folks, and that's a real problem for obvious reasons. Don't aim directly at enemies. Torch the floor in front of them and around them to create a fiery AoE that will 9 times out of 10 just melt trash mobs before they even get to you. Move backwards, manage the distance between yourself and the bugs, and prioritize keeping the gap there. This is more important than racking up more kills. You must channel your inner kite machine to be successful with this weapon. As previously mentioned, shriekers can cause Helldivers a lot of pain. That was me included until very recently. Check out this awesome tip from Crazy Mr. Pips that will really help alleviate that pain.
Yeah, there we go. So you're gonna drop down, you're gonna look up, right? Just like this. So you gotta look up. Because you're on the ground, they're going to start attacking you. And you're going to start spinning while looking up. Okay? Not below. You see how they're dying? And you're going to be fine. You're not going to put yourself on fire as well. You can get unlucky sometimes. It does happen, right? But as long as you keep calm and collected, it just works. So right here, we're going to wait for them to start coming in. And you'll see that they're going to be dropping dead. Both of them are dead. And then we have one left. This strat actually works. I tend to use this quite a lot when there's a lot of them. And here, I'm going to try to find some more. So you're going to look up top. Not to the side, not front, nothing. You got to look up top. And you're going to start like almost spinning, okay? When they're coming in, a lot of them are going to be getting tagged. You are pretty safe. And you are going to be taking a lot of them out. You just don't move, okay? Because if you start moving, you will catch on fire.
It goes without saying that if you're not using the torture and gas grenades in tandem with one another, you're really missing out. And of course, you can double down on this tech and use the gas rover as a support choice to further emphasize the ability to CC within this loadout. And it allows the torture to be used so much more effectively. You can cook chargers if you focus on the back rear spot, for example, when they're stun locked. And this is just so powerful. When you think about it, the ability to do this with a primary weapon is just so strong. Despite Helldivers running on a fairly old game engine, it never ceases to amaze me how utterly epic and beautiful this game can look. The sinews exploding everywhere when we torch a little squirmy Terminid to death. It all just looks absolutely insane. That's why I'm excited to be partnering with Apex Gaming PCs. If you're thinking about upgrading your setup, Apex Gaming PCs has got you covered. Whether you need a high-powered rig for massively demanding games like Monster Hunter Wilds, or you just want things to run buttery smooth, they've got pre-built and custom systems that can handle it all. Plus, there's some solid discounts going on right now, so if you've even been considering an upgrade, now is a great time to check them out. And don't forget to use code FaZe at checkout for a 5% discount. The links are in the description below. Flutter your finger over the reload button when using the Cookout shotgun, and you can continuously reload this thing, as you can see here. It is your light horde clear choice and is designed to deal with chaff, not heavy targets. It can one-tap hunters and warriors, especially if you get all the pellets to land, and this will either kill them outright or let the fire damage drain the rest of their HP away, with the exception of spewer enemies. Even the new Predator brood suffers against this shotgun, and it really shines against Predator hunters in particular. You can literally shoot them once, it will set them on fire, applying a dot, which will then see them quickly burn to their death. So you can essentially just spread this fire damage around with one shot and forget about hunters, because they will die very quickly after they've been hit, which is a great place to be in, folks. Its ability to stagger and crowd control is absolutely insane, and this is where I think a lot of its prowess actually comes from, not to mention that it just feels really fun and effective to play. If you're a Blitzer fan, you will quickly find yourself at home and getting into a rhythm with this weapon. It can bully any chaff enemy and even pushes stalkers around the map, which is another huge win in my opinion. You can also reload one ammo after every shot if you work this in rhythmically. This weapon also does really well at dealing with shriekers, which we affectionately refer to on stream as flappies. Tap them with one shot and set them on fire, and this is always enough to bring them crashing to the ground. Once you get used to the projectile travel time and the speed, you can actually start sniping these annoying suckers from quite far away. The Sickle, and this is the ultimate pairing to go with the AMR in my opinion. This is absolutely game-changing when paired with the AMR for a number of reasons. The Sickle excels at ripping through lighter enemies and can even contribute to dealing with devastators and weak spots on the back of hulks. Because it's a heat-based weapon, you can play the Sickle without spending a single reload if you manage this mechanic efficiently. It makes a very fluid play style in which you can swap between the AMR and the Sickle based on what you have in front of you. Just rip through a group of Striders and Devastators with the rifle, and now you're scratching your head because you're out of ammo and need to clear a group of regular bots? Absolutely no problem. Just switch to the Sickle and watch them fold. Switch back, reload the rifle, rinse, repeat this pattern. This weapon performs incredibly well in those situations that require you to push outposts with a lot of lighter enemies in there. Pick off the heavies and then push in using the Sickle and the jetpack. Complement this further by using the revolver, which feels like it further extends the swashbuckling approach you can take with this build, and perhaps most importantly, it looks really cool when you whip out the pistol and nail a group without missing a shot. Now a quick one here for the Blitzer, and it needs no introduction, and it's all about drawing in the enemy, folks, creating space for you and your team, mopping up as many bugs as possible. This next tip though is perhaps one of the most game-changing things I learned during my playtesting of this build, and I can't take credit for it, folks. I actually learnt this during a recent live stream where FaZe community member Jalon and Crimson advised me not to right-click an ADS when using the Blitzer, and this would take it to the next level. Curious, I took this into some solo runs to test, and oh my word, they were not wrong, folks. By not ADSing the Blitzer, it appears to widen the spread, encouraging it to connect with enemies in a wider arc as opposed to a more focused small frontal cone. What it has revealed is that you can choose between focusing your shots in specific areas of a horde or becoming much more general in your cover of it. In most situations, I would advise using the non-ADS technique, as this is the much more fruitful choice when keeping space between you and your enemies, and it does appear to do more work against larger volumes of chaff much more quickly. Check out this next video, it's got you covered. Take care of yourselves, keep having fun, come check out a stream on YouTube or Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.